So when it comes to selecting a day pack, there are a ton of different options with different features to choose from depending on the type of activities that you plan to use it for. In this video I review the Deuter Airlite 22. Is it good for you? We shall see right after this. Hello my people, FinerBub here. Thanks for checking out the video. For those of you who don't know, on this channel I'm all about sharing my thoughts and experiences on the best spots to check out and the best gear to bring with. So if like me, you want to spend more time outside appreciating the finer things in life, do yourself a favor and consider subscribing. Also, feel free to check out the description below for links to the written version of this video in addition to any of the products I mentioned. But before you do, make sure you stay tuned until the end of the episode where I compare the Deuter Airlite 22 against some of the competition. Alrighty then, without further ado, let us begin. So today we're talking about day packs, specifically the Deuter Airlite 22. Before we jump into the review, I just want to be clear, this is not a sponsored video. Everything you see here was purchased by me at full price, discounting any sales that might have been going on at the time. But yeah, the point is that I am in no way affiliated with Deuter and I'm not being paid to say any of this. If I was, first of all, I'm pretty sure I'd be legally obligated to disclose that to you. And second, if I was sponsored, I wouldn't be sitting here staring at a computer screen all day. I'd be testing cool gear way up in the mountains somewhere and I'd pay somebody else to sit here and edit these videos. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we may proceed. So I've had this pack for almost 3 years now. I've used it every day to carry my laptop, notebooks, chargers, back when I was taking the subway to school and internships and things like that. It's often my go-to for one of my carry-on options when I'm traveling. And last but certainly not least, it has been my pack of choice whenever I've had the chance to venture out for a day hike. So as I said, I've had this pack for 3 years. Taken it all over the world to Iceland, Italy, and a whole bunch of other places, and so far it's been great. So if you got a chance to watch last week's video, you'll know that I absolutely love this suspended mesh back feature. In fact, it's the main reason I bought this pack in the first place. See, before I had the Airlite 22, I had this pack, the Deuter Race X Air. The first time I ever saw a pack like this with this suspended mesh back panel, I was on vacation with my family way back in like 2010 or something like that. We were just walking down the street and through the window of one of those random luggage shops you see all over the place, I spotted the mesh back and these breathable mesh shoulder straps. As soon as I spotted the pack, I was like, Lordy Lord, my prayers have been answered. I walked over to the guy in the shop and just bought it right then and there. I freaking love this pack. I legit use it every day for at least 5 years. I took it all over the place, school, work, hiking, music festivals, you name it. If I was there, then so is this pack. I like that it was so small and lightweight, yet really robust at the same time. There's an internal frame in here that adds a lot of support, and it doesn't add a lot of weight to the pack. So the frame allowed me to carry more weight than the typical pack of this size. It has a hip belt and a sternum strap for extra stability. As I mentioned before, it has the super breathable Deuter Air Comfort system with the breathable mesh back panel and shoulder straps, enabling me to stay comfortable while wearing the pack over larger distances for longer periods of time. In addition to the 2 water bottle pockets on the sides, the pack is also designed to be compatible with hydration bladders. On the front, there's a valuables pocket that has a lanyard attached to the inside and a clip on the end for your keys. This pocket can fit a surprising amount of stuff for having such a low profile, but it can sometimes be hard to get to because of the way the zipper was designed vertically. Because you can't really see inside so well, especially when your hand's in there trying to move other things out of the way. On the other hand, the zippers on the main pocket are great. They have this nice water resistant design, and on top of that, they also have little snaps on them, a simple but useful feature that keeps the pocket from opening on its own. And last but certainly not least, on the bottom of the pack, there is another pocket that houses the built-in rainfly, which is made to fit perfectly over the edges of the pack's frame. But unfortunately, no piece of gear lasts forever, especially your favorites that get used the most. So after a little over a year, the elastic webbing on the sternum strap was the first thing to go. Then the mesh on the shoulder strap started to come apart. At first it was just one link that split, and then it was two, and over time, this happened. Even this nylon strap started coming apart after a while. I finally retired this pack after the zipper broke off the valuables pocket here. I've been meaning to send it in to see if they could fix it or replace it under warranty. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I might make a video on that, so definitely keep an eye out. But yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't replace it. If this zipper wasn't designed in a way that forced you to rummage around so much, maybe it wouldn't have broken like this. Just have a small opening to stick your hand into, so naturally it's going to stress this point right here, and lo and behold, it ripped. So yeah, if they designed it in more of a arc shape or something like that, I think it would be a much more practical design. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. But yeah, after this pack died, I pretty much decided that I wanted to buy the same pack again, hoping that there might have been a new version with an updated pocket design. Alas, there was not. I was pretty disappointed. I had seen a couple people with different versions over the years, but when it came time for me to buy a new pack, all the models I looked for were either discontinued or the air comfort system was taken out of the redesign. During my research for this video, I discovered that Deuter has since released several new models that do include the air comfort system. Additionally, Osprey, one of Deuter's largest competitors, has since released a few Daypack options with their own take on the suspended mesh back that was previously only featured on their larger overnight packs like the Atmos and the Aura. But sadly, at the time that I was in the market for a new pack, there weren't too many options available at the price point I was looking at. Aside from its slightly larger load capacity, when I first got the Airlite 22, I was disappointed by how much bigger and clunkier it was compared to the Race X Air. See, technically, the Race X Air is classified by Deuter as a cycling pack, which explains the streamlined profile and lack of hip belt pockets. The Airlite 22, on the other hand, was designed for hiking and didn't need to be aerodynamic like the Race X Air. So instead of having that minimalist, low-profile look and feel, the pack has a bunch of pockets, loops, and straps sticking out so that you can clip on all sorts of jobbies and knickknacks that you might want quick access to while you're hiking. The mesh back, the water bottle pockets, and the rain cover are all the same. There are a couple small differences in certain features. For instance, the bit on the shoulder strap that holds the camelback straw is just a fixed loop on this pack instead of a Velcro strap that can be opened and closed like the one on the Race X Air. The loop is also on your left shoulder strap as opposed to the Race X Air, which has their Velcro strap for the camelback straw on the right. Since the Airlite 22 is a bit bigger, it has more padding down here for lumbar support and more robust shoulder straps that only have the mesh webbing on the lower portion right here. They definitely don't dry as fast, but they've held up a lot better than the shoulder straps on the Race X Air, and that's certainly been a plus. The hip belt is also much more substantial on the Airlite 22. In addition to offering more support, it also has two zippered mesh pockets for snacks or anything else you need quick access to while hiking. When I first got the pack, I was worried that the belt pockets would annoy me and get in my way when I wasn't using them, like when I was walking to work or school or something, when I didn't necessarily need to use the hip belt. So my solution to this was to simply buckle the hip belt behind my butt when I wasn't using it, and so far that's been a decent solution. One feature I really like on the Airlite 22 is this exterior stretchy pocket with these two straps that buckle right here. Back when I was using the Race X Air on a daily basis, I'd often stuff a sweatshirt or my rain jacket between the frame and the mesh back simply because I had nowhere else to put it when I wasn't wearing it. I'll admit that I still do that occasionally with the Airlite 22, but I don't need to as often now that I have this exterior pocket feature with the two straps and buckles. So those buckles and straps also enable me to carry these larger 1.5 liter guide bottles compared to the normal size. Can see here. So normally a bottle that's this tall would just fall out of a pocket like this, but these straps keep them nice and secure. Now you might ask why I bother with these huge water bottles if I can fit a 3-liter bladder in my pack. Wouldn't that be easier than unclipping and reclipping a bottle every time I want to drink? And yeah, you'd be right. A bladder would be much more convenient, but I have my reasons. The first is simply space. Ever since I started making videos with more than just a GoPro, I've had to figure out ways to carry all of my video gear in addition to all the gear that I typically use for whatever outdoor activity I'm doing on a given day. I've been using this padded camera insert for a little over a year now. It fits right inside the Airlite 22, and I like it because it doubles as an extra carrying case when it's not inside my pack. But keeping it inside, unfortunately, doesn't leave much room for a water bladder. So even if there was space for both the camera insert and a hydration bladder, I still wouldn't use one simply out of the fear that the bladder could pop or spring a leak while my camera is inside the pack with it. This isn't based on any sort of horrible experience that I had in the past, just a fear of mine. I've personally never had any of my hydration bladders leak. I've been using the Camelback brand for a while. I've had a couple of them, different sizes, and yeah, none of those have leaked on me, but I'm still just not going to risk it. So in addition to all the features I just mentioned, the Airlite 22 also has loops and toggles made of shot cord to hold your trekking poles when you're not using them. So the last feature is my least favorite design element on this pack. Somehow they managed to make the valuables pocket even worse than they had it on the Race X Air. It still has the keychain lanyard, which is nice, but not only did they keep the stupid, guaranteed to break sliver of an opening zipper design, but instead of keeping the pocket up against one of the inside walls of the pack like they did on the Race X Air, they dangled the damn thing right in the middle of the main compartment. Now, every time I want to get something out of my pack, I have to flip this huge fucking nutsack out of the way and hold it with one hand so that I can actually get to what I'm looking for. Despite the scrotum pocket always getting in my way, I do actually love using this pack. Maybe one day I'll get a chance to design a version of my own take on the perfect Daypack, but when all is said and done, I'm happy to stick with this guy until that fateful day arrives. So, now that you've seen all the specs on my Daypack, now let's take a look at some of the competition. So the Deuter USA website is a little annoying to navigate, but hopefully with a little persistence we can find a couple options here. So it looks like the Airlite design comes in a few sizes. Oh, I see what's going on here. So I watched this Deuter promotional video that I'll link down below where they talk about how they make and design their packs. In the video, they talked about how they produce slightly different pack designs for men and for women, which seems to be indicated here with this SL in the model name and this yellow flower dangling off the pack. So according to that video, the versions designed for women have slightly thinner shoulder straps that come out of the pack at a slightly different angle, and they're also made with a slight variation on how the hip belt sits on your waist. They're designed for a slightly shorter torso and seem to be consistently rated to hold 2 liters less than their male counterparts. So based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like the Airlite design comes in 3 sizes: 16 liters, 22 liters, and 28 liters. The Airlite SL design also comes in 3 sizes: 14 liters, 20 liters, and 26 liters. I think it's really great that Deuter's making an effort to produce options for women, but it's also important to be careful of these gender labels on backpacks and other equipment. Just because a company says that their new design will fit you better doesn't mean that it actually will. Everybody's body is slightly different, so it's important to go into a store and try it on before you commit so that you ensure to get what's best for you personally. So it looks like Deuter has a few other models with the air comfort system that you can look through, but from what I can see here, the Airlite seems to be the most practical Deuter Daypack design, unless you're looking for something more specific like a cycling pack or a pack that you can strap skis or a snowboard to, or anything else with a very specific feature for a very specific type of activity. So now that we've taken a look at Deuter, let's head over to the Osprey site. See, right away I can tell this is a better website, more fluid layout, much more easy to navigate. And look, they even have a pack finder feature on the site. Okay, this is gonna make this way easier. So obviously follow these prompts according to your own needs. I'm going to choose male. So backpacking is for overnight trips, so those will be too big for what we're looking for in this video. Maybe we'll do another video on backpacking packs for overnight hikes. So yeah, for primary activity, I'm going to choose hiking. The reason I chose hiking is simply because it's the most generic option What do I mean by this? Well, all of the other options probably have specific features that cater to the individual activity, and since hiking is really just off-road walking, I figure that packs made for hiking prioritize features that help maintain comfort levels over long periods of walking, and unless you're biking or skiing, most people buy backpacks because they need to carry stuff from one place to another, and since you typically don't wear a backpack while riding in a car or sitting on a train or something, comfort while walking covers the largest range of activities aside from hiking, like, for example, walking to work or class or something. Oh, wow, this is amazing. I guess I didn't even need to make last week's video. I could have just sent you here. All right, so as you probably know by now, I'm going straight for my favorite feature. See? Now I only have 10 options. After spooling through here for a few minutes, it seems like I'd probably go for either the Stratos 24 or the Cirrus 24 for women, or the Manta 24, which is the Mira 22 for women. If you want something a little smaller, the Manta AG20 and the Mira AG18 also look pretty sweet. I'd stay away from the larger Manta AG models though. The larger Manta AG and Mira AG options looked cool at first, but I don't really like how the shove it pocket is between the main pocket and the valuables pocket. It just seems like it would throw off the balance. See, on my Airlite 22, the shove it pocket sits flush when it's empty, but on these options it looks like it could flop around and keep more of the pack's weight away from your body, which would require more exertion to carry the same amount of weight. So I like the Stratos and the Cirrus for their combination of their high capacity and flush design that sits right up against your back. Even though they don't have shove-it pockets and the front pocket has that same stupid zipper design that broke off my Deuter Race X Air, the Stratos and the Cirrus both have a bunch of other pockets that make up for that. And they also have load lifters, which is one useful feature that is notably absent from my current Daypack. So who knows? Maybe it's time for an upgrade. So other than the zipper on the front pocket, I guess the only thing I don't like about the Stratos and the Cirrus is the white underside of the shoulder straps here. I wonder if Osprey's almighty guarantee covers white shoulder straps turning yellow. I mean, it's a nice pack, but those are definitely going to look pretty gross after a while. At least on my Exos, the straps are black, so you can't tell when, you know, they've been soiled. There are plenty of other brands you can look at, but these are just two that I have experience with and feel comfortable recommending to you. And just so you know, I'm only using these specific websites for research purposes, so don't feel obligated to buy your pack directly from the manufacturer. There are plenty of other third-party distributors like REI, Backcountry.com, Steep and Cheap, and even Amazon that sell many of these pack models, so take a look at those sites as well. Companies like Osprey and Deuter are always releasing updated versions and new designs for backpacks, so it's not uncommon for the older models to go on sale, especially on those third-party websites. So once you have an idea for what you like, try on a couple things in a store, and then if you're not in a massive rush to get the pack, take a little time to shop around for the best price before you buy anything. REI actually has this really great service in their stores where an employee will actually measure your spine to determine the best pack height for your body. And then once you've picked out a couple options that fall within those sizes, they'll fill each pack with sandbags, so you're not just trying on the pack with nothing in it and hoping for the best. This way, you can accurately gauge what it would feel like to carry the pack at its maximum capacity before you even have to buy it. So definitely worth checking out. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you are in the market for a new Daypack, make sure you go check out last week's video where I covered my top 5 features to look for when shopping for a new Daypack. Even though this pack has worked well for me, it's important to do your own research because everybody's different, and just because I like something, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will too. A lot of new Deuter and Osprey Daypack models have come out since I bought this pack, and I just want you to make sure that you're getting the best option for your own needs. So there you have it, folks. I want to wish a very warm welcome to those of you who are new to the channel. If this is the first video of mine that you've seen, I want to let you know that I also make travel guide videos in addition to the product review videos like this one. Speaking of which, I actually just wrapped up a series playlist on an epic 10-day car camping road trip around the Ring Road in Iceland. The reason I bring this up is because I used my Deuter Airlite 22 pack on every single day of that trip. So if you'd like some examples of situations that this pack has had to endure, or you just want to learn about exciting new places via yours truly, then that Iceland playlist should suit you quite nicely. Alrighty, my people, that concludes this week's episode of the FinerBub Show. That's me. If you do decide to get one of the packs I mentioned in this video, or if you already own one, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. If not, I hope that you at least learned something that might help with your search for the perfect day pack. If you do decide to go with a different option, I would still love to hear about it in the comments, especially if your insight can help me disprove something that I think I already know. But before you do, I just want to once again thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you're looking for new gear, don't let the small details stress you out. Remember, life's an adventure, so relax, breathe in the outdoors, and don't forget to appreciate the finer things in life. See you out there, people. Peace.